There's been a disturbing trend in this country lately. People have been turning themselves into the police under suspicion of some pretty heinous crimes. And the police are not doing the proper investigation and executing the people like they're supposed to. Somebody's been shot dead. Somebody has to pay for that. Why aren't the police executing people like they used to? Instead, they're taking them into custody and putting them into the court system where they will be tried by a jury of peers. Not like when I was growing up. Nope. When you called the police, they would come out there and they would take the person out back by the shed and shoot them. I mean, that's what police do. And look at Kyle Rittenhouse. Shoots 2 people. Wounds another one. And he walks down and he gives himself up to the police. I mean, he's begging for it. Why didn't the police do their investigation right then and there and take him out back and shoot him? Like the good old days. Dylan Roof can't get more despicable creature than Dylan Roof. He gave himself up willingly, and the police missed their opportunity to execute him. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnnie Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnnie Walker Dread Show.
People always accuse me of making up these dumb arguments. Well, I'm not talking about my dumb arguments. I'm talking about the ones I expose on my channel. They say, oh, Johnnie Walker Dread, those are straw man arguments. You're making that up. People don't say these stupid things. Okay, here we go. So the dumb argument is that Kyle Rittenhouse was not executed by the police like he would have been if he was black. So Dave starts us off. Does white privilege exist? White supremacy tells us that Kyle Rittenhouse and Dylan Roof surrendered after committing mass murder, so they were deserving of restraint. In other words, they surrendered and they were not taken out and shot. Oh, that's a perfect example of white privilege there. Ma'Khia Bryant had a knife, so she wasn't. And of course, he's all upset about that. Ma'Khia Bryant was in a fight to defend herself and called the police for help. Cops killed her. Yeah, she should have stayed indoors. She called the police while she was inside the house. She went outside with a knife. Kyle Rittenhouse grabbed his gun to help the police patrol protesters. No, he didn't. They threw him a bottle of water and said thank you before he killed 2 protesters. This is by design. Oh, yeah, all right. Sunny Hostin, who I don't know who that is, asked her co-host to consider how police handled Ma'Khia compared to how they handled the arrests of other white teens her age, including Kyle Rittenhouse and Dylan Roof. I think the biggest question is what those teens did when the police arrived. That's the biggest difference between them. Bill is so desperate. Don't know who Bill is. Bill is so desperate to discredit BLM, and April isn't having it. She's got facts and righteous truth. I'm glad she brought up de-escalation. Yeah, de-escalation with a person attacking somebody else with a knife. How is it Kyle Rittenhouse, Dylan Roof, and so many other white men are able to walk away alive, but Ma'Khia Bryant isn't? Because Ma'Khia Bryant tried to stab somebody while the cops were there. That's the difference. If Ma'Khia Bryant is a criminal, what does that make George Zimmerman? How the hell does George Zimmerman factor into this? George Zimmerman attacked a child and killed him with a gun. Well, okay, that's disputable. George Zimmerman has his own story. George Zimmerman is still alive, though, as is Dylan Roof, James Holmes, and Kyle Rittenhouse. Yes, they are still alive because when the cops came, they didn't do something stupid like try to attack somebody with the cops there. Justice for Ma'Khia. Abolition blooming rebellious. Ma'Khia's murder has been contrasted with the kid glove treatment of mass murderers Kyle Rittenhouse and Dylan Roof. Except Micaiah Bryant was actively stabbing someone, and Kyle Rittenhouse was walking towards police with hands up, and Dylan Roof was pulled over in a traffic stop with no weapons on him. Yeah, that might have something to do with it. Reardon's use of force is widely criticized, well, not really, as unnecessary because officers around the country regularly resist using force against armed white men and boys. Kyle Rittenhouse and Dylan Roof, who both shot and killed people in their rampages. I mean, the inability for people to look at two different situations and contrast them is incredible. They can only conflate. They can only find similarities. They can't find distinctions. And so they see Kyle Rittenhouse and Dylan Roof and Micaiah Bryant, and they think, well, those are exactly the same. So why didn't the police react the same way? No sense in arguing with the "but she had a knife" crowd when they refuse to see the significance that white men like Dylan Roof and Kyle Rittenhouse are still alive, and Micaiah Bryant, a black child, is now dead. Of course, Micaiah Bryant, being a black child, was only 1 year younger than Kyle Rittenhouse, and yet they don't call him a child. Dylan Roof killed 9 people and got to go to Burger King on the way to jail. No, he didn't. Kyle Rittenhouse killed 2 people and is out on bail. That's because somebody paid his bail, just like Crystal Kaiser, who was also accused of murder, and she's a black female. Micaiah Bryant killed no one and is now dead. You know why she killed no one? Do you know why? Because they killed her first. The two situations are intertwined. People immediately rush to justify Micaiah Bryant's death, but also haven't given a good reason as to why people like Dylan Roof and Kyle Rittenhouse should be alive. Okay, well, I'll give you one. Want to hear the reason? They didn't attack somebody with the cops there. That's all the reason you need. In fact, that is the only reason necessary to explain why Dylan Roof and Kyle Rittenhouse were treated differently. Finally, I'll just end this one. I don't want to hear about how Micaiah Bryant had a knife. Micaiah Bryant had a knife. When Kyle Rittenhouse, Dylan Roof, etc. were armed with assault weapons and were taken into custody, not shot to death in the street, no sensible person can align themselves with such a dumb argument as the police didn't execute Kyle and Dylan Roof. So why did they shoot Micaiah Bryant? The police don't execute people. And I understand that there are going to be some people calling in, oh, are you kidding me? What about blankety blank and blankety blank? And they'll give me some examples. But in every one of those examples, the police open fire for other reasons. Sometimes it's unjustified. But the idea somehow that they just surmise what took place, establish who was guilty, and then shoot them is absurd. The idea that Kyle Rittenhouse should have been executed by the police that night is astonishingly dumb. Micaiah Bryant and all the other hosts of people that were shot by the police did something that caused her death. In her case, she tried to stab somebody with the police there. Terrence Crutcher, not too far from here, was held at gunpoint, tried to reach in his car, and so this one officer opened fire on him. Stephon Clark, in the dark, pointed his cell phone camera as if it was a gun, so they opened fire on him. Now, were the police maybe overreactive? Maybe. But the idea somehow that they executed these people, that they looked at what they had done and decided, I think we just need to carry out the death sentence here for these crimes, is preposterous. And only dumb people think that. Like my video and subscribe to my channel.